Okay, we are on question 44. We're doing this section. We're going to do these 6 questions right now. It says factor each expression completely. So we started with x squared plus 5x plus 6. What they want us to do is figure out the binomial factors that multiply together to get that. Now here's a helpful hint for your multiple choice semester test. If you type this in the calculator in the graph screen, and you type in the answer choices in the graph screen as a separate graph, the correct answer is going to have the same graph. And what I'm going to do is show you that after I go ahead and solve this. Because right now we don't have multiple choices, we have to solve it. So you take your first term, you split it. What times what is x squared? It's x times x. That goes in the first part here, first part here. All right? Now the second step is a little trickier. You have to find the factors of that last term. You could do 1 times 6 to get 6, but you could also do 2 times 3 to get 6. Now you could do 3 times 2 to get 6, but since that's a repeat of what we just did, that doesn't really matter because it's the same 2 numbers. So one of these 2 options, the 1 and 6 or the 2 and 3, is going to be in the answer. How do we know which one's correct? Which of these also add, in this case, to give us 5, x in the middle? Well, these add to give me 7. I don't want that. These add to give me 5. Okay? The other thing we need to look for is how do we figure out the signs of these? Well, you look at your last sign. If the last sign is positive, we know we're either dealing with 2 pluses or 2 minuses, because that's how you multiply to get a positive answer, is 2 pluses or 2 minuses. How do we know if it's 2 pluses or minuses? We look at the other term, the other sign. It's positive. Now we know we're dealing with 2 pluses. So we got our x and our x. We know we have 2 pluses, and we even know the numbers we're dealing with, 2 and 3. To check your answer, you could do what we did on the last video, where you split this in 2, write this twice, and do all your combining. But I'm going to show you another way that I just mentioned in the calculator. And you can use this with multiple choice tests to make sure you got the right one. Now this is not technically a graph, but I'm going to type it in as if it was a graph. I'm going to type in x squared plus 5x plus 6. X squared plus 5x plus 6. There's my graph. If this is really the right answer, x plus 2 times x plus 3, I should get the exact same parabola. Okay, so I'm going to hit tab, and I'm going to type in my answer. X plus 2, in parentheses, just like I have it, times x plus 3. Hit enter. Look, it's the exact same parabola. So, say you're stuck on one of these questions or you're not sure, go through your multiple choice answers. The one that has the exact same graph, when you put it in, that's the right answer. All right? So that's the answer to number 44. Let's do number 45. I'm not going to show you the calculator checking trick on the others just because of time's sake. But it's pretty easy, straightforward. Just review number 44 again if you need to see me do that. Okay, for 45, we have x squared minus 12x plus 35. Let's go ahead and write our 2 sets of parentheses. We split the x squared into x and x. We got to find the factors of 35. We could do 1 times 35. 2 is not going to go in evenly. 3 is not going to go in evenly. 4 is not going to go in evenly. We could do 5 times 7. Right? What else? I think that's about it. 6 won't go, and 7 we already have. So out of these choices, which ones can combine to give us 12? Definitely not that one. That can only add to give me 36 or subtract to give me 34. But this guy can add to give me 12. Okay? Now there is a difference though. Take a look at this negative in front. We're not dealing with all positives like we were last time. But the second sign is positive, so we know we're dealing with either two pluses or two minuses. In this case, it's two minuses, okay? So when I have an x minus 5 and an x minus 7, that negative 5 times negative 7 gives me positive 35. But when I do my combining, and I'll show you the other way to check it like we did in class, the little brackets, okay? Negative 5x, and then negative 7 times x gives me negative 7x. Those combine in the middle to give me negative 12x. That is my middle term. So that's the bracket way of checking it. And again, you could do the calculator way. You could go to the y equals screen or fx equals screen, graph this, you'll get the same graph. 46, we have x squared plus 19x plus 60. Okay, we're going to split up, we're going to do our parentheses. The x squared becomes x in front here, x in front here. We got to get factors of 60. We have 1 times 60. Now, I'm going to demonstrate on this one the calculator way of finding your factors, because you know a lot of times you may miss a factor, or you're not sure even how to start getting your factors, right? The most straightforward way, and it's not very exciting, but it's super easy. Start with 60 and just start going from 1, 2, 3, and up, and you're going to do division. 60 divided by 1, we know is 60, right? But 60 divided by 2, what if you're not sure? It's 30. So what are your factors? 2 times 30. And then let's do 60 divided by 3. 3 times 20. And then 60 divided by 4. 4 times 15. And we're going to keep going until we've gotten a repeat of the numbers we already have written down. 60 divided by 5. 5 times 12 gives me 60. 60 divided by 6. 6 times 10 gives me 60. 60 divided by 7 gives me an ugly number. I'm going to not use that one. 60 divided by 8 gives me another ugly number. Skip it. 60 divided by 9. And see, a lot of you guys, you know by just number sense that it's not going to work. But if you're not sure, this doesn't take very long. Now 60 divided by 10, we already have. We have 6 and 10. We have them right here. That tells us for sure that you have all your factors. Now, we're dealing with all positives. Which of these sets will add up to 19? That's going to be 61. That's going to be 32. That's going to be 23. That is going to be 19. So there we go. We have x plus 4 and x plus 15. And again, you could check it with your brackets, or you could check it by graphing that and then graphing your answer. Okay? We'll do the rest of these on the video because we ran out of time. I have a class coming in.